Hey everybody, this has been a crazy year, so I have a question to ask for you guys. How many of you guys have had to put your desires aside to do what is right? Now, this is something we're going to dive deep into today, so sit on this for a minute. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode on the Bump Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Bump Podcast. I'm your host, Shamir, here with my co-host and beloved brother, Nabil.
Hey, everybody. You see, he got his coffee in. He's good. He's energetic. He is ready to go.
Ready to go. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the ringle-dingle-dingle. And follow us on all our social platforms. We appreciate you guys being here today with us.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about our desires versus what is right.
What we desire versus the right choice.
The right choice.
And in other words, adulting.
Yeah. You know, Nabil and I came up with this topic. It's definitely, and I use the word vices, you know, because sometimes our desires are actually vices. You know, it could be playing the lottery or you know, porn addictions or women or, you know, and in ladies' cases, men or whatever. There's just so many different vices. Everybody knows what their vices are, right?
Right.
And you know, sometimes you just you put yourself in different perspectives and think like, okay, what makes the most sense in our life? Yesterday, I was talking to Grandma on the way from the airport over here, and one of the things that I was saying is like, okay, like, how do I stay away from the temptations of my past life? You know, because whether I'm economically well or not, you know, I feel like robbing and stealing back in the day was an addiction. You know, it was something that's like, if I didn't do it on a daily basis, I felt weird. I felt off. Like,
right.
What is going on here? And
I haven't robbed today.
Yeah, like, man,
it's like grocery shopping,
and then
but
it's
free.
Christmas, and the Grinch steals on a constant basis this time of year.
He got away with it.
And he got away with it. So it's like, well, what's going on here? So then the thing is that sometimes even if you're doing well in life, the most important thing is what I told Grandma is like, you need to understand that back in those days, I didn't really weigh things. I didn't measure out the pros and the cons, depending on the situation. But I wasn't really like, okay, well, I got this going on in my life now.
Right.
But now in my life, I actually do.
Right.
I measure things and I weigh them out. And I'm like, okay, well, this makes sense. You know, this makes the most sense. And I already got a track record of doing things well. Why go back to those vices? Because then it leads to the point where, like, you know, everything you brought forward, you're bringing back. You know what I'm saying? So now you're like back in the same position.
You're just not growing. Now you're going.
And the worst thing about it is that if you believe in God or you believe in karma, you understand that things will be worse this time around. Why? Because you already know what life is going to bring you if you go down the wrong path or if you do the wrong things, right? But if you do the right things, yes, it'll take time, but you will feel a sense of accomplishment of I did these things right. And the point of it all is to do the right thing. Yeah. What is the right thing? Well, you know, this is something it was hard for me to accept at one point, which is being a law-abiding citizen in society, wherever you live around the world. There's certain rules you got to abide by. Yeah. Whether you like it or not. Why? Because you're not going to go against the whole government of your country.
You can try, but
you're not going to get that far. Listen, it's incredible. I wanted to talk about the I think it's the United Health guy that got shot. Do you know that the kid actually shot the guy because they didn't cover a portion of his medicine or something like that? And because of that, he's prone to die without his medicine. So he has a lapse of time to live now, right? Because that medicine's not covered. So he ended up and went to kill this guy. So he killed him.
Right.
So he's like, well, I'm going to die even if they send me to prison. So I'm going to die very soon. So, like, you know, that's kind of ironic and crazy, but it goes to show to you, like.
But then it's like, dang, is that medicine so expensive you couldn't pay the rest? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Supposedly it was, astronomical.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, imagine it's for him to stay alive. So like stuff like that's always going to be super expensive. So United Health didn't cover it. And he's just like, well, let's just go do this guy. Wasn't the right thing to do.
No, he
but
could have
I mean,
just talked to the guy if he knew where he was going to be at.
But you got to understand, if you see his leverage on things, he was kind of like, either way I go, I'm screwed. So he felt some type of way, because it's like, bro, like I pay insurance and it doesn't cover this. So why am I paying insurance?
The system is a joke.
Oh, really?
That's a different topic altogether.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah,
there at some other point. But my point is that sometimes there are situations like that where it's just like either way you go, you got the same
outcome. Basically.
So it's kind of like, well, let's go make some news. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
let me be famous for a little bit.
Yeah, before
I go,
the little 30 seconds of fame. But anyways, I just feel the main portion that you guys should gain on this topic today is making the right decision. Mm-hmm. And sometimes certain things that we do, it doesn't have to be just our vices. Some things that we do are right and correct, and we should keep on doing them. Yeah. But there are things that we should understand that we have to let go in order to move forward to a better path, because like I've said, I've had to understand that I have to be a law-abiding citizen, and a lot of other things in society that I have to do. Like I said yesterday, I went to pick up my cap and gown for graduation, and I felt a sense of accomplishment, because it's like everything's just been a no.
Doors shut.
Yeah, and I kicked them down. And it goes to prove that
halfway there already.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it goes to prove that whatever you determine yourself to do, you can do it. It's just you wanting to do it. If you wake up with the right mentality. It's another thing I was telling Grandma yesterday. You make out of your day what you want your day to be.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you're going to start negative, it's going to be a terrible day. Yeah. You can start off positive and then it can turn out negative, but you have that ability to choose how you want the outcome of the entire day to be. Even if you do have a bad time or whatever, like, how can you go to sleep making sure that, you rest well or whatever, or when you wake up, all right, yesterday was a tough day, but today's a brand new day. Right. Like, let's go and conquer this and do what we got to do, and make sure that we're going full steam ahead. With our heads lifted up high, our chest powed out, you know what I'm saying? And it's all here and in here. Like, you guys gotta discipline yourselves like that, the way we're trying to do it. When we were discussing, like, coming up with this topic, it was interesting because this year for me personally has been one of those where I've had to put desires to the side. And I mean a lot of desires I've had to push off to the side, in order to do what's right. Putting my family first. Making sacrifices, meaning being comfortable. Nope. If I want to go to sleep early or whatever, no, I can't do it. I have to make sure that I, when I was jobless for several months, I could either sit home and still complain about the fact that everywhere that I'm applying to isn't getting me anywhere, or while I wait to hear back from certain places, which most likely were going to shut the door in my face, which they did, while I wait for the emails or the calls or whatever, I had to go in Uber or DoorDash.
No, for sure.
And I mean, you're making chump change with that, the bare minimum. You could have maybe one good day or whatever where you're getting some good offers, but after that, it's just like chump change. But everybody's doing it. That's how tough it is. Right. Where a lot of people get denied now, DoorDash or some of these other deliveries because so many people are doing it. That that tells you where we're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just, those are kind of what the sweet jobs are in society.
You're basically working on your own time at your own pace. It is pretty sweet. If you don't want to
work today, you don't.
Correct.
Okay, we'll make up for it tomorrow.
But again, it's still chump change. Like, it's not like you're making what a 9-to-5 job would be at least. And people complain about that. But doing those deliveries, dude, like, I was in it every single day, and sometimes it was just
the one that I've heard that does the best and it's actually good money is the Amazon Flex one.
And it's hard to get in now because everybody's in it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Everybody's in it. You got to get on a wait list, and it's just like I've never heard back from them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know,
it is what it is, you know.
That's why you got to try to.
Our father-in-law used to do it.
Oh yeah,
he used to do it. Yeah, he used to do it. But ever since he got in a car crash because of that, he just never went back, I guess. He used to do it on the weekends. But so I want to kind of give you guys somewhat of a breakdown of what a desire means versus doing the right choice. The desire is strong feelings of longing or wanting that can shape many aspects of life, including values, goals, romantic partners, and career paths, versus making a right choice. It basically means making a right choice for you. For example, don't be pressured into studying for a career, let's say your parents or your guardian wants you to do. If you don't feel any enthusiasm, you're not going to go ahead and do it. And I mean, I guess we were blessed where we came from a family who never really was saying, you're going to go to school and be a doctor, or you're going to go to school and be a teacher. It's just kind of like, well, whatever you guys want to do it. Yeah. But go and do it. And that was nice, but at the same time, you know, what I've always desired of wanting to do, it's not the easiest place to get into.
Right.
And I've questioned myself a lot as to why do I desire this if it's so hard to get, if it's so hard to achieve, if it's so hard to even get your foot in the door. Like, it just seems practically impossible. But the older we get, that's when we realize, because we have to put in the work. The best things in life do not come easily. We have to put in the time. We have to put in the hours. We have to make sacrifices in order to do it. And so
I think what hinders that, what you just said, is literally people that have connections or that have family that's already in that industry.
Yeah, 100%.
And it makes it look easy for them. But realistically, it's like everything comes with pros and cons, because that's another thing. Like, when you don't meet the expectations of your parents or of society, because they're like, okay, well, you're LeBron James' son, you better be a badass player. But the kid's in the G League, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just like it does come with pros. Yes, you got $1 million contract, or you got signed to the NBA. Yes, you played a game with your father or whatever, but you know, you didn't meet the expectations because you're not as talented as your father. I mean,
and that sucks for the kid, because it's just kind of like, imagine all that pressure that he has to deal with on a daily basis.
But that's another negative, the pressure of the media, bro, because they try to destroy LeBron all the time, and I'm just like, bro, like, I don't know why people are such haters, because it's like, it was like that post, I don't know if you saw it on Instagram the other day that I posted, where it says, don't ever listen to the boos, because they usually come from the cheapest seats in the stadium.
I like that. No, I didn't see that.
But yeah, and it's just like, you know, it's crazy, because it's like, bro, LeBron's got he's so much success. Like, bro, like, I don't care what any negative person says.
It's his discipline too. Like, he's demonstrated he has a discipline.
Yeah.
A lot of athletes have such a amazing discipline. It's very inspiring.
But you got to also understand that that's the only thing they do for the most part. So it's like, if they're constantly doing it, there's just no way that they are not consistent to get to where they're at, especially if you want to be on the top of the mountain like them or Jordan or Curry. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like another thing. They were saying the other day that LeBron's very far away from achieving the highest 3-point shots, because right now it's Curry. In the history of and it's just like, bro, like, you gotta understand, like, you could break some records, bro, but it goes to show people that you will never accomplish 100% of what you want.
There's no perfect human being.
No, dude, there's just no way. Like, you are good. You could be an all-around good player like LeBron. Like, LeBron could shoot threes. He could play. You know, he could play anywhere. He could go into the paint. He could dunk on you. He could do everything. And defense, he could steal the ball. He could do everything. You know, he could catch rebounds, whatever. And he's got the height. He's got so he's an all around good player. But that doesn't specifically mean that he's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because he's still lacking in certain areas, and you can see it through the stats. But that doesn't diminish who he is as a person, you know.
Not at all.
But anyways, going back on topic, the thing is that, you know, sometimes it might be hard for you or other people in the industry to get where you guys want, and you guys got to work hard for it. But, you know, with constant work, it's got to pay off at some
in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's not necessarily going to pay off the way one has originally envisioned it, but you know, it'll still pay off in a way where I'd like to think we will feel accomplished and satisfied and grateful, you know.
Especially if you that's what we had said in the last podcast. If you know what your purpose is, and you know what you want, and you write it down, and you have like a roadmap. Okay, I want to do this in this amount of time. Then it works, you know. I mean, that's right now. That's what I have, you know. In my daily life, I have a few goals that I want to do. I told you about like the voiceover stuff too, that I want to do, like commercials for like the NFL or something like that. So I'm currently recording like a little demo reel of just those voices, and honestly, it's going very well. But I'm trying to perfect the craft, so when you know, let's say if I do get hired for a job like that or something, then you know it's legit and it's strong, you know, and you know, it'll provide something.
It'll be good. I gotta do the voiceover stuff too. I used to, and then I just stopped. Not sure why. Such as things as life. But open question for all of you guys who are watching or listening. I just melded them together. My question for you guys is what situation have you been in where you've had to give up your desire to do what's right? And what I mean also by that, let me clarify that a little bit more. I've had to give up certain desires to do what's right in terms of, for example, let's just say I wanted to go and hang out today. Let's say I wanted to go to the theme parks as an example.
Yeah.
But it was like, well, listen, we only have a certain amount of money. You can either choose to spend it at the theme parks, you know, buying food. You got and you got to map it out too, right? Because you're paying for parking, you're paying for your food, and any other kind of merchandise you'll probably want, because most people do that. Or we save that money and do something that won't necessarily cost us much or anything at all, and we have that money to be able to pay for our bills for this month. Otherwise, we're not gonna be able to pay for them, and then, you know, we're in trouble. And sometimes that hurts your ego. You're just like, but bro, like, you see all these people that are able to afford it, why can't I do it, even though I'm putting in a whole bunch of time and effort into making money or whatever it is. Right. That's just an example for all of you guys out there listening and watching. And I've had to make that sacrifice time and time again. Not necessarily going to the theme parks, because honestly, I haven't even been able to afford to do that. But you know, that's just one example. Another example I can give you guys is I'm a collector. I don't feel like one currently, but throughout this year, I mean, he knows it, and a lot of people in my personal life know it. I've collected a bunch of stuff, Star Wars, Marvel. I'm talking about from action figures to autographs to props, prop replicas, I should say, not actual props. I do have one prop from Cobra Kai. I don't know if I should disclose it right now, but I do have one prop. And so, you know, if I see something super, super cool, something as simple as, let's say, a Mandalorian helmet that the company Hasbro released, it's like, well, I got to have it. It looks great, and it'd be nice to look in my nice glass Detolf shelf. So I do have the Mandalorian helmet. I have 3 helmets. But like there's a couple more that I'd like to get, and it's like, okay, do I get the latest helmet of whatever the character is, or a lightsaber, or do I actually just save that money and pay for food, you know, car insurance, whatever. And so you know, throughout this entire year, it's like, nope, I can't get anything. I don't remember the last time I got myself anything, even for Christmas now. For Christmas now, it's just kind of like, people keep asking me, what do you want for Christmas? It's like, I feel disgusted of the thought that, oh, I would want a collectible, or I would want something that, you know, is in the geeky realm for me to have. Like, it seems so unnecessary.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people
Growing up sucks.
I feel like a lot of people this year have said that like it doesn't even feel like Christmas. But I understand it's, you know, the economical situation and just so many other things. But at the end of the day, it's like we were saying earlier, it's about how you determine things are going to go, you know. I feel like it's just a mindset. Life is a mindset, and about
It is a
the
mindset.
perspective that you want to give it, you know, and the image.
Well, and you have to realize too, what are the important things nowadays? Is it just like in my case, is it collecting items that are just going to sit in a particular spot,
Yeah.
or is it being able to afford the essentials and
Yeah.
being grateful for that?
Honestly, that's why I'm getting rid of one of my cars, the black car, because
Yeah,
it's just sitting there. It's just sitting there. It's just like it's a nice car. I think someone else could
Benefit from
definitely-
it.
Yeah, and like it's
Probably
just a
someone
nice
who
car.
doesn't even have a vehicle,
Yeah, whatever it may be, but
they got the money for it.
you know, at the end of the day, we definitely have to always measure what is the correct thing to do in society, in our personal life,
Yeah.
with our friendships and just relationships in general. But we have to also separate and understand the difference of what is right and what we want, you know, because as I was telling Nabil earlier before the show, that I've learned to deal with a lot of people in my life that I didn't know how to deal with them at one moment. But as you mature, you start to understand that the right thing is in life is to coexist with people, to learn how to love people, learn how to understand people, and give opportunities, because I think society has created an image of, you know, lacking opportunity. You get one try, and if you didn't do it,
You're screwed.
you're out of there.
That's
It's like going to an audition for acting or something. You know, you walk in, if you don't know how to read the damn script or it's not what they're looking for, you're out of there.
Next, yeah.
And they got 1,000 other people in line anyway, so it's like they're gonna find the people they want. But you get what I'm saying, and that's just what society has done. And I will never be the person to be like, well, I gave you an opportunity and that's it. Like, I mean, give a second and a third chance sometimes. And I'm not saying like, hey, if a person's constantly hurting you,
Yeah. You're not gonna get trampled over.
there. Yeah, but what I am saying is that if it's a person that is confused mentally, that doesn't understand their part of a situation, you know, just you know, let things sit for a little bit, and maybe that person will come to an understanding of what you're trying to say to them, whether if it's at your household, a job, you know, because it might be a coworker sometimes too, or a boss or something that, you know, you could be saying all these coworkers are lazy as hell, but they're not seeing it with their own eyes. They're going to be like, everybody's working here, you know? And then it might be a situation where you're just like, you know, what's right is for everybody to kind of divide the workload evenly, but they're all loaded it on me because I'm the one that works the most, you know? So it could be those situations, you know, just sometimes we got to give things time, you know, in order to understand them well.
Pretty much.
I've been a person where, bro, sometimes people explain things to me. Even earlier, like I asked you, like, what'd you say? Because you said something, but I was in a different thought.
Yeah.
So I asked you again, because sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I'm out of it, or I'm in another thought, you know, or I really was just subconsciously listening to you, so I wasn't paying full attention. So, you know, it could be different factors.
Or sometimes you can check out too, because the person is rambling on and on and on and on and on and on, that you're just like, what'd you say? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's happened to me.
That's
It's
actually
like,
when I'm under the influence of marijuana on like a weekend night or whatever. The problem with me is that I talk and talk. And
you're
talk
sober and you talk a lot.
Yeah, no, but when I'm under the influence, dude, like I talk.
I know.
And you know what's crazy? I've come to the
That's
conclusion
what prison
of
does to
something.
people. It's like it's like they went so crazy that I'm not knocking anyone that went to prison.
No,
by the way.
Lord.
It's just. I was just gonna say that.
No,
it's
but
just like he must have had moments where he's just talking to the wall, and this is how kind of I feel right now. And
you know what I would do sometimes, believe it or not? I'd open a book and just talk, and I'm not reading, but it looks like I'm reading. I could talk to myself, like literally, like dead ass. Like people were probably like, "What the?" Are you done? Yeah, I would open up a book and I would just literally like.
Well, Shamir, here you are, just like, slipping slowly into madness.
That's not.
How are you doing, Shamir? I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing good.
No, just like it was more like processing, like everything that's going around, or like calm down, everything's gonna be all right. Calm down.
Oh, that's good though.
Right. Yeah, it was just
because keeping it bottled up. I mean, that.
And
was
it's just like, bro, like you can't trust a single soul in there, because then it's just like everybody will start talking about it in the dorm. Like, hey, this guy said this, or hey, this guy said that, or like, hey, he's having issues with it. It's a society that you live in while you're there,
right? Especially
if you're in an open bay dorm.
How many of you guys like the Eagles, and how many of you guys despise it? Please feel free to comment down below.
Let us know who's going to make it curious to the NFC Championship. I have a guess that it'll be the Eagles versus the Lions. And then for the Super Bowl, the AFC's looking a little shaky this year. I don't know if Kansas City's going to make it, but definitely if it is rigged, Kansas City's going to be on the AFC, and then Lions or Eagles will definitely make it.
My prediction is I don't care. Don't watch football for the life of me. I watch it with this guy, but I
love football.
But
anyways,
basketball.
Forgive me for yawning just now.
You're forgiven. You're forgiven. It's okay.
I literally lost my train of thought.
The important thing is that you weren't going crazy. You were processing while talking to the book.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I mean,
it's not crazy
when it's just when you're incarcerated and you're in captivity, dude. It's like it gets to a point where like you start doing things that, bro, you start looking at the most random bird and just like, hey, look, there's an animal. Or hey, look, there's
there's something beautiful versus just,
but there's nothing going on. So it's just like, bro, you see an ostrich or something walking by, and you're just like,
look, there's an ostrich.
Wow, look at this zoo. Look at all them birds. Like, yeah, no, it gets pretty bad sometimes. So yeah, I do have some side effects of the chain gang, but you know, it was a great experience. Overall,
it was a learning experience.
Yeah, but
I don't think you would call it great. Right?
But the reason why I say great is because it's like, I know I'm never going back.
Yeah.
Like it was just enough to be like,
one and done.
I don't want to be there, you know. I don't like the boxers. It makes your thing just, you know,
makes
to your knees.
Microphone.
Yeah, just
it makes your chain hang low,
very low.
Sometimes it might wobble to the floor.
Literally scraping the ground. And
we're off topic. We know.
Yeah. Anyways,
but
yeah, you know. Everything that I went through in there was definitely. There's another thing, even in there, you know, the desire to gamble in there, man. When I was, you know, the NFL or NBA, they do a ticket and there's $300-400 on the table. You know, you're like, well, if I put $20 in, you know, I could win those $400.
See, he was betting my money.
Or you sit down and read one of the new books that your brother sent you. You know what I'm saying? And it might be educational, might be a Star Wars book, novel, or whatever, which is more productive. I really think that reading
the stock market stuff was more productive. Star Wars is just
but that's what I'm saying, like educational books, because obviously I also had like the psychology books that you guys sent me, and, and all the theology books that were sent in, you know, so there's just way more productive things to do. But you got to understand, like, okay, what do I do? Do I do this? Do I do both? Or do I do one? Do I want to feel clear-minded that, you know, because, you know, if you're in religion too, gambling is not really a good
it's not a thing we should do.
You know, I think easy money is, you know,
anyway.
And this is one thing I always say about like easy money, like, people are like, oh, easy money goes faster than hard-earned money. And that's not true, because if you work
hard-earned money goes quick too, man.
The bills consume it all. And then the thing,
I guess it depends what state we're living in too.
And then the thing with easy money is that, you know, 1,000 things you want will consume the money. And then if you're a good-hearted person, you like helping people, you start blessing so many people. And it's just like, bro, like, I look back, a lot of these people won't even look over to spit at me nowadays, you know what I'm saying, that I've helped in the past. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, people know I've been out and all this stuff. Nobody reaches out, nobody cares, you know what I'm saying. So it's just like, the people that I have in my social platforms, bro, I could have like probably 2,000 friends right now on Instagram, followers or whatever, just on people that I know here in town and stuff. But I don't have it because I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want like, okay, just to have a follower. Like, no, like anybody that follows the Bum Podcast or us, it's just literally because you genuinely like our content and what we got going on.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know, just because we want more followers or whatever. Like, I mean, it's an open platform on each one, but at the end of the day, you know, hopefully it's because, you know, you like what's going on around us. You like our vibe and everything.
And you can relate to us too.
Like the fact that you said, you know, even like things that you want, a car, action figures, collectibles, you know, all these things that sometimes you got to put aside for more important things. That's the right thing to do.
I can't even bring myself to get something for myself for Christmas. Like I've tried and I just get turned off right away. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. What is this? What's happening?
Yeah. But it'll get better, mate. And I firmly believe that 2025 is going to bring blessings to all of us, to all our listeners, to all our family members. We're in a new presidential year as well. We'll see what the president's going to do. I heard he wants to work with the Dreamers. Just yesterday, I saw the little interview they did to him. He wants to help the Dreamers out, which is the immigrants that have gone to college and all that stuff.
I believe that when I see it.
They're in the, but you know, it's crazy because the Democrats haven't done anything for them. Honestly, I mean, you know, and you know, we've had on our podcast or whatever, but she doesn't have a full saying on that.
No,
you know, she's not up there yet, but I don't know, we love you. But anyways, you know, we're all about, when it comes to political views, is what's right. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes
versus just one party's right and the other one's wrong.
Like, we could have an inclination. We could have an inclination on one side or the other, but realistically, you know,
doesn't mean we're sellouts. So I don't want to hear you.
Hey, right now, if I were to vote, it's literally non-party affiliation is what my voter card would say, honestly, because I mean, I can't really say, hey, I'm a sellout. It's just, well, this makes the most sense, and hopefully it's not rigged, you know, but obviously we know the government, there's corruption, there's all types of stuff going on. So, but it is what it is. So, you know, guys, do the right thing. Desires sometimes need to be set aside. Let's say if you are economically well, regardless, there are certain things. Yeah, but there's certain things that you need to drop in order to succeed and be a better self, a better person, a better human being.
And sometimes we have to go through the situations we've been going through lately where the right thing overpowers what we desire. Sometimes our desires aren't as important as we think they are. Meaning, like, okay, even if I did get the new collectible, what does that do for my growth?
Right.
Nothing. Yeah. It really does nothing.
It's just really
it's just a temporary feeling, and then at the end of the day, like we've mentioned in a bajillion other podcasts in the past, but by the time we die, like all of that's just meaningless.
Right.
Has no value. Versus by the time we die, hopefully what we really take and what we really valued, and based off of our right decisions, we get to take knowledge with us. We get to take growth. We get to take life experiences that are beautiful and wonderful, and hopefully it was passed on to the people that are left here behind.
Right. I wanna do this 1 minute video that I listened to. It's an advice from a billionaire, a 60-year-old billionaire. It's very
so you want to play it after
no, I'm gonna play it right now. We'll just listen to it and then we'll comment about it.
Okay.
So you guys could get a word of encouragement, and I think it'll be something of use. We won't
get copyrighted or anything.
I don't think so, because it was off of Facebook. It was just a random video. It wasn't like, but
try it out and
regardless, it is what it is. We're not getting paid right now anyway, so once we do, I'll still use content. You know, we're promoting you guys. We don't do it with the intent to
make money off
make money. And ain't even then, if we ever make money off of YouTube and stuff like that, great. But like, you know, my source of income, I want it to be something completely different. You know, this would just be the entertaining portion of our life. But here we go.
Rule number 1: if you don't come from a rich family must come from you. Rule number 2: forget about the girls and focus on one woman. She'll help you achieve everything. Rule number 3. You will never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You will only be criticized by someone who is doing less than you. Rule number 4. A winner is just a loser who tried one more time. Rule number 5. People get really mad when you don't let them use you. Rule number 6. Never post your achievements. Post stupid stuff and jokes so they'll think you have no future. People hate progress. Rule number 7. When you become lazy, it's disrespectful to those who believe in you. Rule number 8. 6 months of hard work, consistency, focus, and discipline can change your life forever.
Yeah, so no, it's just it's a pretty big platform. Yeah, no, it's wonderful. I think that anybody could take. This is the type of things I feed on a constant basis, on a daily basis. Yeah. I try to follow a lot of platforms that are positive, that give good vibes, mental health, just everything in general. I think that we've talked about this in the past on different podcasts of the content we consume, whether if it's music or just, content online in general. So, let's be diligent about that, because you want to be able to, as you're changing, have something that solidifies your internal being.
Yeah.
Something I've noticed recently is that when I determine myself to do things, that's become harder, right? Mm-hmm. Because like the world starts to change around you. People start to see a difference. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to be strong enough to stay in that path in order to become successful in those things that you want to do.
Yeah.
But if you're not strong enough, any comment that somebody says or whatever,
it'll bite you. It'll hurt you.
Discourages you. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's where I said, the saying earlier, where it's like, usually the person that's booing in the crowd is from the cheapest seats. And on here, it kind of said it different. People that criticize you are people that are doing less than you.
It's the truth.
So
and I've been on that opposite end myself.
Yeah, for sure. So,
I think we all have.
Yeah,
honestly.
But so that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast today. If you guys have anything to say, DM us like always, or just comment in the comment box down below.
That's what we need more than anything. Comment down below. It gets the algorithms going, man.
And
hate the whole thing, but it's just how it works.
But I think through time too, we're going on a year,
we are.
Well, technically we're already recording around this time, so
I think we recorded like the week of Christmas, or right after Christmas is when we actually did it, and we were sick.
Yeah, we did.
We were like congested and everything. That was terrible.
If you hear our videos, our first videos were pretty.
But we just really wanted. We had that urge to really just record. So we're just like, screw it. We're gonna power through. We're gonna have some nice warm water with lemon and honey and stuff, and just let's get it.
Yeah. So we're very close, but I think with time we'll be all right. It'll.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the ringle dingle dingle. Follow us on all our social platforms. We love you, and it'll be until next week.
Yep.
We'll see y'all later.
Have a great week, everyone.